Hi, welcome to the Cisco Daily Blogger Tech Minute. We're at the third day of VMworld 2010 in San Francisco. My name's Stuart Miniman. I'm an analyst with Wikibon.
My name is Jay Metz. I'm a product manager for FCOE for Cisco.
And I'm Ernesto, Group Manager on the marketing side, on the VMware side.
So with the 17,000 people here and hundreds of sessions, it's just been, at least for me, an inundation of knowledge here. It's actually my first year coming to VMworld. It's been a fantastic experience. So many people, so much information. I think I'm going to need a month to absorb it. But Ernesto, I wonder if you could start us off with kind of some of the trends and observations you've seen at the show in the last day or so.
So yeah, happy to. So I think from yesterday was a big announcement day, right? We had some other from the VMware side and also from the partner in the ecosystems. We had some follow-up announcements about integrations. But I think the trend that we've seen is the maturity of server consolidation and the virtualization is actually, it's considered mainstream in production. And what we've seen is that the ecosystem is already evolving this model of the hybrid secure cloud way beyond our expectations just by the integration of just the 2 or 3 companies on this blog. So I think what we're going to start seeing is the pace of innovation coming from partners such as HighTrust and working with VMware and with Cisco and other partners such as EMC. It's going to accelerate because it allows you the flexibility and the mobility in the platform to do things in a way that they haven't been able to do before. And it creates more of this fluid structure. And the really interesting thing, and there'll be some really good revelations in tomorrow's keynote with on the last day of the show, but I think it's not so much just only how IT is purchased, but it's also how it's consumed and delivered is going to be drastically changing. And it's the partners in the ecosystem that are able to deliver an open platform for it versus a single stack or lock-in. They're going to be the ones that actually have a significant impact in what we're going to see a year from now in 2011.
Ernesto, definitely one of the ecosystem is a word. Every blog I've written, I think I'm talking about ecosystem lately, and especially if you look at VMware's move very much beyond server virtualization, and if you talk about security, networking, all sorts of pieces, and those all, of course, Cisco has a broad portfolio, and there's so many integration points that I see between the two companies. Lots of opportunity for growth in that area.
Agreed. Yeah, and I think you're going to see. So Nexus 1000V has been out for about 2 years now. The UCS platform a little bit out over a year. The work that we've been doing. We launched V4.5, and we're working on certifying benchmarking V4.5 on the UCS platform. I think literally the convergence of the network and the compute and some of the work that Cisco is doing with storage partners like EMC and NetApp is actually going to help that transformation, especially when you start talking about the desktop, because the amount of iPads that you see in the sessions and people trying to do their work through a non-work issued device is something that is actually really, really interesting.
Absolutely. So, I remember 2 years ago, a lot of discussion on the 1000V. Hot off the presses, I heard that the Hardware Virtualization Award for the conference was actually the Cisco Nexus 7000 with OTV. So, Jay, maybe you can tell us a little bit about that product line and why it won the award.
Well, it's really exciting. The OTV, it's a transportation virtualization which allows you to connect disparate data centers across geographies. And so what you can do is create a superset of a data center and connect a bunch of your different data centers together. And that enables a lot of application mobility, vMotioning across data centers for both disaster recovery purposes as well as normal everyday workflow. Allows data centers to be able to integrate new technologies and resource allocate on a much broader scale than they could do before. So we're really excited about that.
Okay, so and I have to say that really is one of the enablers if we've talked really kind of cloud and the journey there to be able to have my application mobility between my locations, service providers. If I look on the private cloud awards, actually NewScale won the gold award there. I know they're UCS partner, and they had some good visibility at the conference. Any other proof points or customer stories you could share for us?
Oh, just to dovetail on what Ernesto was saying, the customers that I've been speaking to at the booths, and I've been there the entire time, have really come to me with the questions about UCS, and they've come with questions about the virtualization story. one of the things that we've been talking with a variety of different customers, everyone from government to aerospace and healthcare, is that when they're trying to evolve their data center and move towards different types of underlying technologies on the lower layer, on the cabling side or on the layer 2 side, they're really encouraged by the fact that VMware will allow them to create an abstraction layer where their workloads aren't affected by infrastructure being modified or evolved or changed. And so that's where we've been taking a lot of our conversations with customers in the past few days.
So Jay, converged network, I believe there's something called fiber channel over Ethernet. Has that come up at the show?
Maybe once or twice.
Okay.
It's a couple of things, yes. Fiber channel over Ethernet is the new hot buzzword in the world that I live in anyway. And so, yeah, the customers are trying to find out not only what it is, but how it works and how can they get from point A to point B, and will fiber channel over Ethernet help them along the way.
Okay. So you know, FCWE, I've been talking about FCWE for about 3 years now, and you know, the nice thing I like about UCS is FCWE is built in inside, especially for a virtualization environment. Customers don't have to worry about it. It's like, you know, we're really starting to virtualize our networks, ties well with the virtualization on the VMware side, and you know, making some good progress on the journey that we've all been looking at.
And I think what we've seen also is the amount of, you know, we had always, because of our relationship with EMC, had a really good storage presence from the attendees. I think this year we've seen the biggest jump from the network side of the house, which means the messages that we're trying to get out there as far as the benefits that you've had on the server side, application side, and on the storage side are now being transferred to the network side. Is something that we've been very happy to see. So, and I think seeing some of the solutions from other companies such as the V-Blocks, seeing a living, breathing V-Block on the show floor as an example of what could be this single stack has been actually something that we've been really surprised from customer demand. And
it seems like that's on the upswing too. I mean, the people that I've been speaking with have been talking about networking as a moving forward in both the VMware and obviously Cisco as well, but the increased emphasis on networking from both sides is starting to really take a foothold, and people are talking about it more and more, and I actually expect that to increase after the show.
Yeah. So great. So thank you for joining us for the Blogger Tech Minute. You'll see, you know, blogs, posts, news, and a lot going on there, and enjoy.